Good morning, friends. I hope you're doing really well. This is Tracy Brown, and my team and I of non-diet dietitians provide trauma-informed nutrition counseling so you can feel safer in your own skin. And this video is just to kind of address, I kind of see this globally, and it's always been the case when people are struggling with food and body image issues, but it feels more so in the last little bit. And we probably all have our particular view, kind of how we, as you know, our little team and even this community here, how we navigate maybe multiple angles of trying to improve health. So again, on our team, we really emphasize all the things. So your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being, and it doesn't mean that we have scope to deal with all those in great depth, but we do see that all those issues be a part of what help what contributes to being difficult to being consistently honoring your body, knowing signals of hunger and fullness, um, knowing how to take health information and not put it through a black and white lens. So that's all the work we do. I think it's really important to maybe, even if you're watching this video, to stop what you're doing right now and go either, if you're on your phone, maybe you can listen. I don't know if you can minimize it, or even just get your notebook and a pen handy. I have notebooks everywhere, journals, and like reminder things, all kinds of things. So anyway, blank piece of paper. This is how you would do it. Is you want to get clear, right, about, gosh, what do you want to see happen? For some of you may be coming and you want to have a better relationship with food. So where are we starting with? We might be talking about mechanical eating, and then move to intuitive eating more, eventually, whether that takes 3 months, 6 months, a year, year and a half, whatever that takes, that's what it's going to take. And so we would break those down into smaller pieces. Where are we starting today? If you're someone whose eating is pretty chaotic and, one day you eat 3 meals a day and then, um, and maybe there's 2 or 3 days of like regular, a mix of like takeout and cooking in and leftovers and all the thing. And then that's going good for a while, but then that doesn't continue. We would write it down and make a list, like what are the barriers that are keeping you from being consistent? Maybe that's some of your work right at the beginning. All right. Maybe you come to us and you're like, hey, my food's pretty good. I'm just struggling a lot with body image. And so we just jump right into that, making sure that the container, the food that over here is still cranking and still doing okay and isn't being impacted by this work. So before I go deep into like some of the details, which I just started doing, let's just talk about the things that people typically, people typically struggle with. Is it regular body honoring supportive eating isn't consistent? So that's a part of the work we would deal with. Body image is a struggle, meaning we're doing okay sometimes, or maybe we're just working from hating the body. Like I can't imagine loving my body. Well, we just start with like, how do we hate it less, right? And do those small steps and interventions to that. Let's say it's movement, the same thing. You either only move when you're dieting, and that's it, or if you are dieting, you're overdoing it with movement, so you don't really know how to move your body in a way that's at least minimally neutral, if not joyful. Maybe you're someone who has some health considerations. And in our culture, I'll just say Western culture, is that our default, we've all been mind control programmed to like get on a program, have somebody tell you what to do. And again, there's nothing wrong. We do this all the time, is that we help people navigate health concerns, from GI issues to insulin resistance issues, whatever it is. And we have to like kind of combine that with the efforts you're pursuing in recovery, but you can't have one without the other. So to jump the shark and do too far ahead with the nutrition things, but you can't really consistently get groceries or eat regular meals. Sometimes we have to start with supplementation first, or making sure that the thing that would maybe if food changes would be helpful, but we're not ready for because it feels too much like a diet. We kind of have to work through that, unpack those issues first, and maybe just do medication, supplements, um, and work on the sleep routine because that's off too, right? And then, of course, the nervous system health regulation. You're not going to, it's really difficult to improve health without basically plugging the holes of the fight or flight or freeze or freeze that are eroding health. Those are the reasons why we have chronic fight, flight, freeze, or freeze are rooted in too much overwhelm and trauma and all those kind of things earlier in life anyway. And if those adaptations um, aren't compassionately witnessed and shifted to some other way of navigating stressors and emotion, if something else isn't put in place, well, you can do all these health things you want to do, but if you're still in chronic activation or constantly always triggered by something, it's really hard to be in that um, rest and digest kind of place for all those efforts um, to make as big a difference or big as impact as you like. And so we have to work on that issue too. So I've already mentioned a lot of things, and it's already been a long video, and I'm sure that if you've been making notes about all the things that we want to do for holistic health. I haven't even mentioned like supportive, safe people and community and joyful activities and learning to orient to the good. I haven't even mentioned all that yet. There's a lot. There's a lot. So the assignment really is, or the challenge is to write these things down. What are all the different aspects of health that if I was looking at somebody else's life, I'd say, this person could stand to have more fun. This person could stand to like maybe work on some of the black and white thinking, whatever it is. We make our list. And then we just focus on, when you really check in and tune in with yourself, which one feels like the most important right now? Because you can't do all 10. And again, in our culture, we're programmed to like, you feel kind of not great in your body or something's going on with your health or whatever. The default is like, somebody give me a plan and tell me what to do. But big picture here, we want to look at each aspect of what might be hijacking our health and focus on the little steps to build a new neural pathway where that's natural again, to be able, and that might always be easy, and there is definitely some efforting around it, but it doesn't have to feel like a burden. We want to make it autopilot, but that takes time. All right, we're trying to make some new automatic responses to, just the challenges of life, whether it's emotions or health or whatever. So thank you so much for watching this video. And it was a little bit longer one than I typically do, but my heart here is to really help people break down some of the overwhelm they might have, make a list. And in the next video, I'm just going to pick one of those topics and really go through it a little bit longer so you can see. So we might pick a health one, we might pick a learning to eat more body-led. Let's just put it that way. And the steps to actually unpacking that, and you'll find it like, oh, that's why this has been so hard, because sometimes we kind of expect ourselves to be at point, we started A and we expect to be at Z in 3 months, and we're missing some of the smaller steps that would make, and it might stretch out the process a bit, but it makes it more likely to stick. And that's the goal here, is for you not to need to be over focused on this for the rest of your life. And that's exciting. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.